Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dicing with Death.
Hello.
I am sorting out a couple of things here while Malcifer does his stuff, so give me a moment.
Especially considering you are sorting out some greater skeleton warrior tokens for me. Will we need them? Probably.
I don't know. Eventually. On the Necromancer class sheet that I gave you, what is the attack bonus for greater skeleton bowmen with their bows? Is it +8?
The version 2 that you gave me.
No, I'm talking about version 1, because I think we're still using version 1 for the stuff that you already raised. Right? I wasn't trying to nerf your shit for you.
Oh, either way. I was just wondering which one to reference. Fortunately, I still have both open. It used to be just +4.
For bows on greater skeletons?
Yeah. Oh no, here we go. Bow is +6.
Okay, cool. And does 1d6 damage. Right, and they
melee,
get 3 attacks.
Okay, wait. Melee is melee is +5 and missiles +6.
The greater skeleton warriors, the bowmen, the one in gray.
+5 with their claws. Okay.
Right, and then their bows, which should be on the far right, are
yeah, +6. But they're not D8 weapons, are they? They just do D6s?
D6 weapons. Yeah, and they have 3 attacks. Like, perfect.
Oh, whoa.
Are we not looking at the same document?
Yeah, and they get 3 every 2 with their swords, don't they? I forgot that in the last fight.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they're considered specialists, right?
Yep. Okay, cool.
Or
we've got our
monsters with extra attacks.
Greater.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. No, bow here is +4. Yeah. It's always been +4. Oh, bow. Oh, it's +8. It gets cut off somewhere.
Okay.
Bow bow +8. I see what you did. All right. Sorry for talking my confusion out loud. This must just be riveting to watch.
So riveting. So riveting that they keep coming back for years and years. I don't get it myself. But that's not true. I totally get it. Skeleton.
These are actually different colors, Faye. My lighting situation is just so bad. Everything is washed out to shades of black and gray in true Dicing with Death. So, how many days worth of undead shall we churn out? Shall we spreadsheet?
We can go for... How many days do you want? Let me ask you that question, because I don't want to tell you how much time you have.
Malcifer's got 131 max years left. I don't want to go below 100. Let's do, if we do 3 days of zombies, that's another 24 years. So it'd bring us to 107.7, which seems like a comfy place to stop making zombies. So 3 days pass of zombie raising. Are these going to be human zombies or zombie monsters, zombie animals? What do we have available?
You have plenty of human zombies if you so desire.
Yeah, let's raise that 3 spears of zombies. So from 20 we'll go to 44. So that's 3 days.
Excellent.
And then skeletons. So I don't want to deplete our livestock supply. I want to keep levels healthy. I don't know that Malcifer is intelligent enough to keep track of this, though.
What's your intelligence?
We'll just hope our farmers can manage their animals. 12, it's average, but so let's switch back to skeletons and see what we're working with. So you said we have enough animals coming in that the population has stabilized?
Yeah. You've been bringing in like many villages worth of farm animals, and many of them are getting eaten by your people, and then many of them are being turned into sacrifices, but there's enough influx that it's okay.
I might have just gotten a prophecy from the winter gods that eating of animal meat is to be forbidden, and we all need to go vegan so that we can fuel the undead army with the animals. I guess you can eat the meat after you sacrifice them.
Totally, yeah, that doesn't taint it at all.
Okay, so a week. This will be a week after the fighting. Malcifer is going to have to call a meeting in front of the chapel and basically convey that there's going to be new rules regarding meat consumption.
The vegan necromancer. Oh
I dug
my
it up on a
god.
tablet in the graveyard. One of the gravestones says that thou shalt not eat meat of livestock unless it's been properly sacrificed, and we'll lay out the proper sacrifice is going to be using it to raise a skeleton.
Well, how do
At
you?
least for these times of war.
This is a big change to your people.
I know, right?
So how do you explain it to them? How do you tell them that this is the case?
So what we've been doing is buying off the animals. I think we're going to buy off every animal in the village.
Mm-hmm.
And like ration it out. That's how it'll work logistically, right? The only meat that you're allowed to eat will be like properly sacrificed meat that gets
kosher meat.
Can I roll some sort of check to see if I'm unwittingly cursing the people? Like if you eat sacrificed meat, does it taste foul or damn your soul for all eternity?
Are you going to make an educated guess, or are you going to run an experiment?
Oh, you're awful. I would consult the archives of my lore.
Right. You pour through the books in your library.
Lore of 11, right? Can I roll D20 plus 11?
Yes, and you've got your grandmother's books to go through as well.
Sure.
Hopefully they can provide some assistance. D20 plus 11.
25.
There have been instances of erratic behavior in those that have eaten the meat, but on the whole, it seems to be fine. Just in some percentage of the population,
some percent.
it causes problems. Erratic. It's just noted as erratic behavior.
I mean,
That's
maybe that's
fine.
just part of being a part of a village that's routinely sacrificing animals to raise skeletons.
Yeah, it could just be coincidence, correlation instead of causality.
Okay, it'll be fine. Everything's fine. Okay, so the new rules are that villagers have to eat meat that's been properly prepared.
Right. I like the kosher analogy. It makes it real easy for people to follow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or halal. Especially prepared and blessed by our Lord Winter here. So we'll, and I think we'll pay out all the people all at once if we have enough funds for that.
Sure.
Yeah, Malsfer has hundreds of gold, thousands of silver and copper. I don't even know how this would get calculated.
I have no idea.
And I guess the people would probably keep raising the animals, right? So there will be a confusing back and forth where like hunters go out to farmers and tell them that they're not allowed to eat their animals and they're just right and they need to be properly prepared and brought back to them. And there's gonna be people like lying about how many cows they have and like hiding their
But can you give me a general charisma check for how well you relay this information to the people and how well they take it?
Yeah. My Christmas 13.
Oh.
25. Passable. So they I think they obey.
They obey on the face of it, and most of them get it. And there's been a lot of sacrifices, so it's not like meat is in short demand. It's just like a slightly less convenient way of getting it. But they'll follow these orders mostly.
Yeah, they can farm their own fruits and vegetables, right?
They better.
All that's fair game. Maybe it'll inspire some creativity, and they'll invent excellent meat substitutes. And then there's of course the state supplied sacrifice meat.
Yep.
Tastes a little off, but
tastes like true freedom, really. Liberated meat. It's the best meat.
It's sustainable, right? Because we verified that the soul has been properly harvested.
The whole animal is getting put to use, guys. The bones, the spirit, the life force.
We can raise some animal does the animal skeletons take a year of life, or is that just for the larger ones?
A year for the regular ones, 3 years for the large ones.
Okay, so there probably won't be any animal skeletons wandering around for now.
not to get too deep into the spreadsheets, but you also gained like weapons and armor from the company you defeated.
Oh yeah.
So you should get like 7 suits of chainmail.
Well, those just stay on the knights that were wearing them.
Okay, good. But you raised 8 knights, right? Out of the 7.
Yeah. Only one of them was not wearing chainmail.
No. But there were only 7 that died, right? Because one of them fled with that first group of spearmen, bowmen.
Oh.
And
okay.
the commander of the company, I guess we forgot to go over this, was never found. Like that first person in the front who was waving and making the battle, as soon as like the skeletons engaged, he stepped behind the lines, and when the battle was over, his body was never found. Yeah.
I have 14 warriors, so I may have one too many warriors. Let me think back the math. So I had 6, and so I only have 13.
Okay.
Skeletal warriors. Okay. And the rest have shields, though.
Yes. You got 48 spears, leather armor. No, 48 spears, leather armor, and shields, and then another 8 bows and leather armor. Does that matter?
Sorry, say that again.
You have 48 spears, leather armor, and shields, and 8 leather armor and bows. So 56 suits of leather armor.
Sorry, 48. Let's just raise those back as skeletons eventually. So 48 leather and
shield.
Yeah. And probably spears, right? And then how many bows?
8.
8 leather / bow. Yeah, let's do it. Let's start with the bows.
Okay. So that'll take a week to raise those back, which is perfect. A week is about the amount of time I was comfortable giving you to do all this stuff.
And how many of those animals are sustainable? Do you want to like tell me how many animals we have, or will we just say that there's enough for now?
Yeah, I don't want to get into like tracking animal counts. That gets a little deep in the spreadsheet for me.
Yeah, I would agree to that. I do have a livestock category, but I think I'm just fine to neglect it.
Yeah, because you raided. What did we have? You raided 1, 2, 3, 4 villages and basically stole all their shit. So I feel like that's enough that we don't have to worry about livestock until something happens to your large supply. Because 4 villages worth of livestock being eaten by 1 village is an abundance of animals for the time being.
Oh, these could be raised as warrior skeletons if we had large enough livestock, but I don't think we do, right?
Right. I think that's your skeleton warrior. Actually, skeleton warriors need medium animals. So if you start sacrificing pigs and goats and sheep, you could do it.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, please.
All right, so you're going to bring those back as skeleton warriors then, those 56?
Like just the level 3 version of the spell, level 0 warriors. Nice. So there's going to be, a week later, there will be 48 warriors. So basically, we raise back the warriors that fell. Threw themselves against our hedges. Alrighty. Is there something you wanted to do in a week?
No, the week was just an amount of time I was comfortable with this stuff. So anything else you want to do in your area this week?
Our numbers are looking healthy, and I think we may be nearing time to start poking around. I mean, I feel comfortable if we could keep the animal sacrifices rolling in and crank out another couple hundred skeletons, but you know, it's some, yeah.
Okay, so you've got how many? This sheet is sort of a mess for me to understand.
It's mostly for me, my own bookkeeping. What are you looking at?
I'm just trying to decide how many of what's you've got. Okay, so it looks like skeleton warrior. So like you've got these like skeleton warrior archers up here and skeleton warrior archers here.
Yeah, I can combine them at this point.
Okay, yeah.
The 12 were the first group, and then the 8 were the ones I just raised. So I'll combine those to 20, and they're all just leather and bow. It doesn't matter where the bows came from. Leather bow. There's 20 warrior archers, 48 skeleton warriors, 1 random skeleton mage.
Right, and then you've got your skeleton warriors, regular skeletons. Oh no, these are skeleton warriors too, right? So aren't these and these the same?
This 11 up here is regular skeletons.
Can you see the fields I've highlighted? Rows 9 and 11?
Yeah, those are
the same, right?
9 and 11 are the same. Correct. Yeah, cool.
Can we combine that to 56?
55, right? It was 7 plus 48.
Right. I can, yeah.
56 would make an even number, but...
One shot
all right. So I would like to raise the rank and file. I've only got 11 regular skeletons. Oh, and then there's the skeletons and the roses.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been a week. Let's take a look at the map.
Yeah, let's check in with the hunters, I guess, right? We'll have gotten word.
They have not been pushing out beyond these 3 burned villages for the time being, because these forests over here are still filled with creatures. So, but now that they're not supposed to be killing things, maybe the hunters are trapping and not hunting. You know, like not killing and bringing back.
Yeah, I think we're at least initially we're going to be pretty forgiving about this, right? Like I think we've established that there's probably plenty of people keeping secret, or like eating their animals in secret. Maybe they have to hide the bones or like sneak it in with the various corpse piles around. Hunters, I think it's preferred that they bring in animals alive, right? Like trap wild game, and there's probably not much wild game though. The assumption was they're mostly scavenging after the zombies that killed relentlessly.
Right, but the zombies have been patrolling in this area. Beyond this area, there should still be game, right? In these. Yeah, and it's preferred that they trap and bring it back alive. But if they bring back dead animals all the time too, right? Yep, totally.
Basically, some standing orders to scavenge anything useful.
So it's been a week.
What's the word? Yeah.
There's very little word about what's happening out there. Your hunters aren't really pushing into enemy territory.
What did they find in? I guess actually Malsifer went himself to Aemon's Watch, right? And at this point, the village has just been razed to the ground.
The village has been razed. The castle has been emptied. It's the doors on the castle have been taken off and like hacked to pieces to make sure that no one can use the castle defenses.
Did they like take the walls down or like
no, they didn't have time to take the wall. There were stone walls in Aemon's Watch, or maybe they were palisaded, but they didn't take the time to burn the entire thing down. That requires enough attention and someone to stick by and make sure it burns. They just took the doors down and ruined those as sort of like hasty scorched earth policy.
Yeah.
And this is, I think, the point where the hunters don't want to push out any farther because they're worried about getting caught being so far away from camp.
No.
And Malsifer is needing eyes out there, needing to know what is happening in the distance.
Yeah, at some point over this week, now that you mention it, I would like to send some undead scouts. So I will inhabit the body of or inhabit the spirit, see through the eyes of one of my undead. So what options do I have? I can possess and take direct control. That's probably the best bet. I can also clairvoyance.
Yes.
And corpse whisper. But possess just does those in one, right?
Possess doesn't allow corpse whisper. It doesn't allow you to speak.
Okay, but it's the same as clairvoyance costs 2 years. Okay, but clairvoyance can be action at a distance.
Right, clairvoyance, you like mark it on a creature when it's created, and then you can cast clairvoyance to see through its eyes whenever you want. So it's like an upfront investment to cast a spell on a creature, and then a casting cost every time.
Yeah.
So it's expensive, but that way you don't have to like touch it and possess it and then walk it away. You can say like, go to the tree and then just check in whenever you want, you know?
We'll do a possession here. I think a shade is probably the best bet for this. There's also, what is a poltergeist?
It's the one that has to stick close to you.
Yeah.
Since you have a whole village out at hand, I don't think you need a poltergeist. Poltergeists are more for like the reclusive necromancer who needs a help around the workshop but doesn't have any living people to help him.
All right.
Poltergeists.
So let's possess the shade.
All right.
The old family servant. What's her name?
What's her name? Does it even matter? It
Not even
does.
Rose. Rose is the head. Is it also her?
There were a few
shade?
roses, right? Skull on the table.
It's a skull? I thought it was a head in a jar.
Yeah, skull, head and jar, skull on table.
It's a zombified head.
Yeah.
That I have animated, I believe. Yeah. Or it was animated, and I just...
Yeah. Is Ruby still with you, the gardener?
Ruby?
I have a female character in your group named Ruby. Is she dead?
Living...
No, she's a gatherer, not a gardener. Okay, never mind.
No, I don't see her named on my spreadsheet, but...
I don't have a name for the shade. I've forgotten it, if it had a name.
It doesn't matter.
All right.
It was an old family servant. I don't...
Probably one of Lord Rosegrove's ancestors, to be honest.
Perhaps. Maybe that was so frightening for him to happen upon it in the house.
Does he know?
A visage from his past. I don't know.
Maybe.
All right. So I find that shade that haunts the manor. And I'll set myself up in my study for a nice long nap. While possessing the shade, we have a look into the Blumwood.
Excellent. You'll have to do it at night because the shades are weak to sunlight.
Yeah.
But they do have, necromancer infravision that can see the signs of living creatures. So where do you send your shade?
I think towards Pine Spur. It moves at a movement rate 12, right? So it walks all through the night.
It is not bothered by the
probably
terrain.
all the way back. So the mouse will probably go into like a 24-hour coma.
Well, it is not bothered by the heavy underbrush. It can just move through it. So it can go at 3.5 miles per hour, even through the Blumwood, which means that 20 miles
get there and back in 12 hours.
It's a
walk to Pine Spur.
Yeah. You seeing through the shade's eyes for 6 hours as it goes through Pine Spurs. Maybe I think you don't really notice the passage of time in this way. You almost connect with the undead, and it's sort of just like it moves past you and you're sleeping, napping, and then Pine Spurs before you. You barely recognize the time.
Is there anything interesting along the way? Perhaps a zombie or two? Do we see any signs of life?
You certainly pass a zombie.
Maybe hunters and their blinds.
You come across a group of deer and frighten the shit out of them. They kind of like perk up and sniff the air, and they don't quite see you, but they bolt. They can feel your presence.
That's reassuring that there's still life out there to be harvested.
Absolutely.
We haven't doomed this whole island yet.
Yeah. And then moving into the area around Pine Spur, you spot a group of horsemen. They're like one after another after another. There's 3 of them, kind of dashing through the woods quickly, looking
Towards
this way
Pine
and
Spur
that.
or away?
No, it perpendicular, parallel. I don't know how you want to call it. It doesn't cross, so it's got to be parallel. Yep. And then you get to Pine Spur itself. You get to the clearing away from the town. Which looks like it has been freshly chopped down. It's nighttime, so there's no one working now, but you can see a whole section of trees that have been like felled and dragged away. Fresh stumps all over the place, as if they're trying to clear an opening around the town. Within the town itself, you see barricades put up, hastily erected palisade walls, and all sorts of like improvised defenses, since Pine Spur itself doesn't have any walls. They're forbidden from having walls. And now they
were.
They were, yeah.
Does Pine Spur know
about what happened in Eridon?
Yeah, like have they started erecting walls? Is there a palisade wall going up or something?
There's a fresh palisade wall that looks like it's been built in the last month or two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like fresh felled trees.
Mm-hmm.
Are they sharpened into points at the top?
Yep. Yeah.
How tall does it stand?
It's a solid wall. It's 15 feet high, but it's only like 30 feet long at this point. You could just walk around it for now.
Yeah. This pleases Malcifer. It's been hundreds of years since a wall has stood on Gadia.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Seems
we're driving up the Eridonian, our Eridonian overlords.
As you scout out the area, you notice 3 distinct companies camped out in and around Pine Spur. You can count their banners and their flags. It's about 300 men here, including leadership and workers and squires, in addition to whatever people live in Pine Spur.
Are they camped outside of the wall, or did they build the wall?
The wall is insufficient. Like it's only 30 feet long, and the town has a circumference of many thousands of feet.
30 feet long? No, I thought it was 30 feet tall. 30 feet long?
No, yeah, it's like 30 feet long. It's 15 feet tall. They've just started building this thing. They're putting it together. It's
okay. Have they dug trenches or anything like that? Like, are there preparations made for war fortifications?
Oh yeah, it is slowly getting built up. Trenches being dug and palisade spikes are being put in as trees are felled, and it's being constructed. You guess it'll take many months for them to have a meaningful defense against you. So you should have maybe 180 days before the entire town is encompassed. And there are 3 companies, so about 300 soldiers. Ballpark.
Yeah.
Do you move into Pine Spur itself, like into the streets, or you just keep an eye on the outside?
No, we'll move into Pine Spur. I think you should probably roll like some generic perception check or many of them to see if any of the citizens of Pine Spur spot a shade moving about the city. It can clip through walls, right?
Anything that's organic matter, it can clip through. Living. Okay,
so the earth, right? Or the earth has enough inorganic to not. Okay.
Yeah, not earth. Wood, people, bone.
Okay. But most of the houses are wood, so I think unless someone like really nails it, and that someone happens to be a priest capable of exercising the spirit, I think some people may spot it. Maybe roll to see how many spot it, but it'll probably, if spotted, Malcifer will just clip into the nearest building and disappear.
So we'll spot. Yeah. First, we'll do a check to see if anyone sees the ghost approach the town, like in the gap. But it's dark, and it'll be hard to see. They definitely don't see it. So how would you like to approach? Do you want to approach through a building or down a street?
I think down a street, and we'll clip into a building if spotted, right? So maybe someone looks out their window and sees this ghostly visage.
Yeah. Well, they haven't yet. You get to the town.
Down Main Street, Pine Spur. You
start heading down Main Street. There's a pair of guards standing, and your shade walks within like 20 feet of them without them noticing it. It's so translucent, and it's so dark, and they're looking out, but then they're chatting, and you walk right past them. You can hear them. They're talking. They're talking about of course, the skeletons and the zombies out there. These people clearly have never seen a skeleton or a zombie living, but they are happy to gossip about it. You move deeper into the streets. You can see that people, even at this late hour, are still sort of hustling around, trying to get a few things done here and there. There are lights on in many homes, even this late at night. And you come across a patrol moving through the streets. It's just 2 guards walking side by
I
side.
think if this shade will clip into the nearest building, maybe there's a chance that there's someone in the building.
There is. You clip into the building, and there is a man. He is sewing together some leather armor, or what looks like it will probably be leather armor when it's done. And he kind of looks up, and then his eyes go wide as he stares at the shade that like moves into his workbench.
And I think it just like as quickly as it can, just probably passes straight through him, straight through his leather, and straight through the wall behind him, and is gone before he has time to really register what's going on.
The skeleton
moves out
moves
the house, out the other, out the street on the other end.
A delayed scream comes from the house. And I think you hear the sound of footsteps as the guards run up to it. And the man's like, a ghost! I saw a ghost! It passed right through me!
And the shade, passes right through the next house over or whatever, down the street. It's gone into the night.
People probably just think he's a crazy old man staying up too late and hallucinating.
Well, it's strange times, right? Skeletons and zombies in the Blumwood. People seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
Who knows what to believe anymore?
I don't even know.
So I'll try to find like town hall or like the
Oh yeah.
Is there a keep?
There is a keep. It has had its walls torn down, so now it's just a building. Yep.
Well, it's probably a big stone building, right? A big stone tower.
Yeah.
Is there like still a yard outside of it? So it's set up like a keep. There's just no wall around it.
There's just no wall. Yeah. So there's the yard.
And maybe even like a barracks for the personal guard of the lord here.
The barracks is built into the keep itself.
Okay.
Yeah. As you pass through the courtyard here, there's another patrol of soldiers semi nearby, and you can overhear them talking about a certain sheriff that is sitting in the brig that has been jailed here.
So we pause. Maybe roll a perception check as like the shade's head does it like poke through a wall to eavesdrop on this conversation, or
no? They roll a 5 and 10 is 15 before penalties. They don't notice the shade.
In the keep or in the barrack, or where did you?
This is just sort of like outside in that courtyard area. There's another set of people who are just keeping watch, probably next to like a burning, what do you call it? A brazier with some wood in it, and maybe like a small shelter to keep off the rain when it does rain.
The shelter is probably made of wood, so maybe the shade is like climbed on top of the, on top of the shelter, and its head is like sticking through the roof above these guys' heads, and they fail their perception check and don't notice it.
Yeah, and the old moat still goes around, even though there's no walls on the inside of the moat, so you could alternately be like down on the moaty area itself.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We listen. They're talking about the sheriff. What did the sheriff?
They're talking about Freddy.
Freddy.
They are talking about Sheriff Freddy.
Yeah.
Locked in the brig, and they're saying, I can't believe that old man still hasn't said a damn word since he arrived.
Oh, good
What
old
the
Freddy.
hell do you think he's afraid of? The other guy goes, well, I think you know what he's afraid of. No one wants to be turned into a specter. And the guy says, no. If he was going to be turned into a specter, he would have done it a long time ago. Doesn't he know that we're the good guys here? What's right? Has he been brainwashed? Maybe his mind's been ripped out. The other guy says, I think the clerics already took a look at him. At least I saw the clerics going down in there, trying to get him to talk.
Yeah.
And they speculate longer.
I'm tempted to spook these guys. They so brazenly talk about matters beyond their comprehension. But instead, the shade will drift into the keep. Maybe find Freddy. So we'll walk in the front door, which is made of wood, right?
Yep. You pass right through the door. The metal bars that hold the door together don't stop your shade. You move right on into it. And the first thing you run across
metal bars don't stop it?
No, so like if it was solid metal, it would stop you. But if it's like wood with like bands going across, you can walk right through it. Like you could walk through a prison bars as a shade.
Okay.
Yeah, you're kind of like gas.
Okay.
The first thing you spot are 3 gnomes. They have pulled up some stone tiles on the ground, revealing copper pipes running underneath. and they are chattering in Gnomish about these copper pipes. Do you speak Gnomish?
Mousefer has some spare language slots, but it is unlikely that he speaks any Gnomish.
So they're just kind of like sing-songy chatting amongst themselves.
This is right inside the front door. They're like working
right
on the
inside
plumbing
the front
right in the front door.
Mm-hmm. You would know that Pine Spur is famous for, in addition to all the wonderful great things, for the heated floors. Vulcus Lake, which is right to the north of Pine Spur, is this unnaturally warm lake. It's like 70 degrees at the top, 80 degrees down at the bottom. And using a gravity siphon, gnomes have managed to pull water out of the lake through these copper pipes and through some of the building's floors, and then like dumping it at a lower elevation. So the water just like pulls from the lake naturally and heats the floors here.
The floors are heated. That's
some
awesome.
Towns or some buildings in the town have heated floors. And there's a small population of gnomes here that is ever expanding this network and fixing it and breaking it and fixing it again and trying to like find a way to get the most heat distribution by siphoning the least amount of water. And there's like a special stream that all the siphoned water goes into that feeds into the Blumwood and yada yada yada.
And you have these gnomes roll a perception check?
I did, and they rolled a 5. They are very busy.
The shade just floats right past them. They're too caught up in the heat of their argument to even notice it. And it slides down the hall. I would like to find the basement, find the jail, if such thing seems obvious. So I think the shade will wander the halls on this ground floor, looking most likely for a stairway down to the brig, if such a thing is obvious.
You can find it. We'll make another perception check to see if anyone else notices you. Nope, natural 3. You eventually find a stairway that leads into a dungeon. Yeah. You head down the steps. There is a guard on the wall who does spot the shade as it comes down. Guard is just kind of like hanging out, and then down the stairwell comes this ghostly specter, and the guard grabs his torch.
Is there a locked door behind him?
No, the door would have been at the top of the stairway. There are cell doors behind him. Like,
okay, but imagine this is the brig here, right? So
it's like a single hallway with cells on the right and just regular wall on the left, and just one guard down here. So as you enter, he grabs a torch and pulls the cudgel from his side and starts shouting, "Ghost! Ghost! Help!"
And I think at this, there's probably do we see moonlight shining in? Are there windows in the cells?
No, you are below ground level. There is no natural light down here.
All right, the shade will turn tail and retreat up the staircase. So it's going to go out the staircase, out the door it came in, and out the nearest window if there's one on the ground floor.
Yeah.
The guy just sees the shade walk down the stairs. He shouts, and it turns and disappears.
Yep.
And out the window. And I think after that, I would like to retreat. Maybe see if we can get out of town without being spotted. How many floors is the keep?
I want to say 3. Let me double check my notes, but I think it's 3. Do I even have notes on this? Notable people. I don't think I have any notes on the height of the keep. I think it's 3 stories, though. There might be like a 4th floor attic or a tower that has a 4th floor to it, but let's call it 3 stories for now.
Okay. All right. So the shade clips away, maybe out a different way than we came in. Are there any more ghost sightings on our way out of town?
No.
Okay.
They roll poorly on their perception. The ghost moves through the night quickly, quietly, unspotted, clipping through walls, passing. One of the houses you clip through is filled with sleeping people, and they sort of stir as you move through their bodies and wake up. But by the time,
horrible nightmares.
Yeah.
All right. And out we go.
You eventually
back to the Blumwood and return to the body.
It feels like
Malcifer's body.
minutes later you're back in Malcifer's body, but as Malcifer opens his eyes, the early rays of first light are starting to light up the atmosphere. And I think this is a roughly good stopping place. Do you have anything else you want to get done?
I'm feeling pretty good. I think we're going to want to raise more skeletons, as always, right? When don't we want to raise more skeletons?
Mm-hmm.
But this seems like a good stopping spot for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to level up Malcifer to level 6, or do we think more objectives are required?
What happened the last time you leveled up? What precipitated that?
I feel like we should be keeping better notes on this. Level 5 we hit after, I think it was after raising the village, or after raiding those 3 villages.
Okay, right.
So it's been probably it's probably been several sessions.
It's been several sessions.
I don't know if we've hit big milestones since then.
Well, you did defeat your first
siege
company. Like there's the first real siege. I know someone attacked you before, but it was just like a couple of spears. This is 2 full companies came at you and you held them and pushed them back. So I think we can hit you to 6, which grants you the spell False Death. The Necromancer puts 1 willing creature, self included, or possibly included, into a death-like state. Breathing stops, body cools, and stiffens as if dead. The creature is unaware of anything and everything and cannot react. Wizards lose memorized spells. After 24 hours, the effect fades, and the creature returns to life. It does take 3 HP of whoever is being subjugated to this, though, which is nice. We have Reverse Healing, which is a curse. Natural healing is reversed into damage. So if you heal 1 HP a day and you have this spell cast on you, this curse put on you, and you're wounded, you will just lose 1 HP a day. But if you're not wounded, you don't heal, so you don't take damage.
Is this a touch spell or touch ability?
Yes, it is a touch ability.
Mm-hmm.
It is notably particularly effective on trolls who regain 3 HP a round.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You get the necromancy version of Hold Person, which is very different than one might expect it to be.
Is this the mirror, trapping someone in a mirror spell?
This is the one where you trap a person in a mirror. They become a 2-dimensional creature in a 2-dimensional plane, and they're stuck there until you release them, or the mirror breaks.
That's cool.
It is difficult.
And it looks like we've also got this Hold Essence.
Do you want to read that one? Because it's the best one, I think.
Yeah. How does Malcifer even know about this? This has got to be a new ritual, right?
This is definitely not in your grandma's books. This is something that Malcifer has, in the process of creating these creatures, you're like, wait a minute. Hold on, we're eating the flesh of these things. I have an idea.
All right. By drinking the blood and eating the heart of a smaller mammal, the necromancer stores the form of that creature for later use. Using an action, the caster can transform into the animal, bringing all their equipment with them. The form has stats of the creature. With an AC bonus of 4, the caster retains their mind, their HP, but is otherwise limited to the form they're in. Caster may change back at any point or when the spell expires, and I believe it's 1 hour per level.
Mm-hmm.
And then some higher level buffs. That's level 2. Yeah.
Holding the pattern of another creature in your body is difficult, causing the max HP of the caster to be reduced by 3 for each essence held. So when you're
transform, the holding essences is later, right? Or you can hold 1.
So starting at 6th level, you can hold 1 essence, and to cast the spell, you make the sacrifice and you eat the heart of this animal, and you lose 3 HP until you unfurl the spell and by transforming into it. So if you take a bat, you drink its blood and eat its heart, you will lose 1 year and 3 HP. And then at any point you can then become a bat and then your HP will regain naturally after that
At
point.
any point, or do you get one charge?
You get one charge. Yeah.
Yeah. And then once you've used it, turn back into a human.
It's gone again.
It's gone again. You'd have to like be carrying a bat with you or something.
Right.
Or find them there. Okay.
When you hit 10th level, you can hold
twice,
2 creatures. At 14th level, you can hold 4. At 18th level, you can hold 8. So, you can hold a bat or a wolf or a dog or any medium. No, eating a smaller creature. So something smaller than you by mass, I guess, is what we're going to do it.
So, interesting. We'll think if we'll be visiting Pine Spur in person and haunting further. Can these creatures use necromancer abilities? Like while you're a bat, can you cast a reverse healing on a victim, for example?
Ooh.
Or do you need to turn back into your
I think you need to be in your normal form. Like maybe if you already had spiritual weapon, like cast on your teeth for a few rounds, then as a bat you could use spiritual weapon. But I don't think you can cast new spells from this form.
Okay. So, but when you're level 10, you could fly in on that form, holding a backup essence, turn human, buff yourself, turn back into an animal.
Yeah.
Strike.
Yep.
Interesting.
Gives you some transportation modes if you want, or some hidden modes. I think I did some math on this. I think like a wolf is probably the best creature for speed because it's pretty fast. I mean, sure, if you found a cheetah, that would be better, but
this is a necromancer we're talking about. Of course, you turn into a wolf or a bat.
Into a wolf or a bat.
Maybe a rat.
Bats are your flying creature. Rats and mice are your small, sneaky creatures. Yeah. Some good stuff in here.
Good stuff. Cool. Let's roll HP, I suppose. Right?
Please do.
You want to do that? So we'll hit hitting level 6. We've been lucky with the HP rolls so far. We'll see. So we're just rolling a d6. No con bonus. Oh.
Ooh, tough luck.
Tough luck. I think I got a 6 last time, and there we are, averaging back out. 22. Can you feel pity on me and let me just gain that as an HP, even though I'm like...
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
As long as it goes up proportionately, right? You're not at like
so 10%. I'm at 17 out of 22.
That's fine. Yeah.
A quarter of 22 is we're still considering 5. Although I should upgrade my spirit armor at some point. I will gain a +1 to hit with all proficient weapons. And I do have another weapon proficiency I was meaning to use. Meaning to use on like bone darts or something for spiritual weapons. The thought crossed my mind to save it for a sword if we can ever uncover the coral sword of Gate Isle. But maybe that's we'll just pick up another proficiency slot later. Level 6 might also be better saves. I don't know where we were getting our saves from.
I think we're pulling regular wizard saves. I don't know. You should get better ones at 6. It should be. I can give it to you down the line if you're ready.
Yeah, sure.
13, 9,
13,
11.
9, 11.
13, 10.
13, 10. Sweet. Level 6. There may be another non-weapon here.
Yes, there is.
Yeah. Oh, I think last time it was used on embalming. And then there's a new non-weapon proficiency that we'll see about later. We've also got a spare weapon left over from level 5. Is there anything else I'm missing? I think not. Good stuff. Well, or evil stuff.
Terrible stuff.
Horrifying. Yeah. The stuff of nightmares. Anything else to say? Shout out? Shows to plug?
We have Rise of the Dragon Queen tonight. We have Akuba Nights tomorrow. We're going to do a Sammy solo session.
Ooh, is it going to be like a flashback? Baby Sammy?
No, it'll be what Sammy was doing while the rest of the party went off and did their thing that happened the previous week. And I think between now and Rise of the Dragon Queen, I'm going to do a Kuban Knights planning probably off stream.
Okay.
So I don't think we're going to get any more streamed stuff right now.
Yeah. Dicing with Death prep on stream?
I have been doing some Dicing with Death prep. We did army movements and talked about that ambush that they were planning for you. And cool. Counted out the number of troops and counted out the size of the island and everything. So I've got a pretty good idea of what forces you're facing now. Mm-hmm. You certainly haven't found all of the soldiers stationed across the island because they've been busy bees raising armies.
Yeah. Maybe I'll think about my devious plans. Maybe we'll use some of these level 6 abilities. Bat Malcifer fly into Pine Spur and curse the Lord or something like that.
Mm-hmm. I will definitely need to do some
new abilities.
Some leadership planning for Pine Spur before next session. So probably Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday we'll do some Dicing with Death planning on stream. Other than that, guys, just check out the Discord if you haven't. Check out the cool art, or if you're one of the community members contributing to all this fun stuff, keep up the good work. Yeah, and
Discord,
we've got
the Reddit. They're popping these days. What a time to be alive. even better time to be dead.
Yeah, dead and under Malcifer's control. We also have a women's group in the Discord. So if you are a female looking for other females to discuss Dungeons and Dragons with,
so not us.
Not us. No, don't invite us. We can't come play with you. If that's interesting to you, why don't you hit up either me or Fayama for you in chat, and we'll sort you out and get you applied to the group properly. There's a command for it. Yeah, it's a Shield Maidens! !Shield Maidens in chat. And what else is going on? Akuba Nights tomorrow, Shenanigans Saturday.
You're repeating yourself, so I think it's time to go.
Yeah. Not this weekend, but 2 weekends after it, we're going to do another Hardcore Heroes episode. That'll be the 17th of March. Yeah.
Alrighty.
All right, that's it. We will see you guys on the other side.
Thanks for watching. And see you next week, probably, right?
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.